Hi, everybody. Welcome back to part two of Sander Lylloff playing against Arnaud Mattern in the World Championships from Monte Carlo from this July. This is kind of following, sounded like a very interesting match that happened on Sander's path to becoming world champ, so I wanted to watch it, give some commentary on it, make it a little more interesting to watch the video if someone comes back to it. So far, the players are playing pretty solid. We'll look at that in a second. I do have for a moment up there just a reminder that that my book's out on Amazon. So if you're interested in learning my approach to adjusting to match play, go check that out and come see me on Facebook and YouTube. I do a lot of play and explain type of videos there too. But yeah, we'll get right into it. And we already started. We're gonna be moving into game 9. It's going to be 15 away, 8 away. Sander with a pretty solid lead here. I think we'll be able to see it on the scoreboard, but maybe not quite in the video. We have the XG feed here. This is the summary of how they've been playing so far. So Sander doing his usual stuff, maybe like one or two checker and cube decisions from last time that got a little interesting for him. But yeah, let me see how well I can sync the start of these two as well. We're gonna go.
Ready, let's go. I would have been a nice one.
With the lead, he's going to go with the split with the 2-1. Okay. Quite reasonable. Six four going to make the bar, sure. 6-2 looks like it's going to want to escape a checker even against so many checkers in the zone. Small racing lead. Like that decision. 4-5 is going to hit at least once. Then with so many in the zone, maybe continuing to hit on the ace is the best 5 we have. Leaving 6s from the bar doesn't seem all that productive either. He's going to think about this. What is his other option? Just to run? He's not sure if he should be bothering to hit here, I guess. It does feel weird to hit on the ace when you're outboarded and ahead in the race and all these things.
Aha.
This, oh yeah, can either hit or anchor up. Why do we want to let our opponent just get away with this? We're not going to get hit in the outfield very often. Yeah, I think the hit seems pretty strong. Get the race back, all these things. I like that play. 5-6. It's going to get something moving from back. Oh, it makes an anchor. Beautiful. Okay. Pretty even game they've landed in here. 3-1. Sure, we really want to keep the 8 points, so sad to give that up, but too nice to point on head against the goalkeeper. And the 2-1, I think the anchor is a little too strong here to give up maybe, especially against the 3-point board. So if we don't give it up, how are we playing this? Maybe 8-7 is, of course, a safe play. We still have a ton of racing chances when we do that. Do we really want to slot into a better board? That's not clear. I don't see any 4 duplication.
Taking all these pictures.
I don't know.
I'm only letting you do it because I'm going to ask for all of them once you're done.
I love listening to him talk back and forth. Yeah, a bit of an overplay there. But interesting how close that hitting play is as well. We can just afford to potentially break the anchor here. Trailing this much in the match, he wants to consider a cube now. Okay. Small lead, but not quite enough to double yet, as we can see. Still going to pause to think about it, though. Quite reasonable. Good place to spend a little time. At the most sensitive scores, this could be something like a 4-way, 2-way. But here, there's still value in cube ownership. There's still value in a gammon for Sander, all these things. So We're not sending just like a dead cube in at the to absolutely make sure we don't lose our market before or something like this. I think there's still value in having it for later. So we can't adjust quite that much here. Just noticed it came up on green somehow, so I wanted to go kind of plus that instead. I expect Sander would find an easy take here too. He must have a good idea that it's just nothing for money against the anchor. So Arnaud is spending some time to figure out if I hit loose on the deuce or if I send a second checker back, how often am I going to lose my market here? What about when I don't do that? And he's going to send it in early. Snap take from Sander. Understand the adjustment for sure at the score. It feels like you'd rather take advantage of the gammons when they come.
What is it?
You should never double those because then you're going to roll a market loser. And when you double, then that's one of the old tricks.
Good advice from Sander there. This 3-2, this looks really stiff, and we have a better board. Do we really need to do this? Oh, this is not where it started, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah. I would be... My first instinct is to just make the 8. Does my opponent really want to hit in the outfield with a 4 anyway? Maybe there's something more mobile to do with the back checker since we are at risk of being primed, but I think just making the 8 seems pretty strong here. But okay, he's going to clean up instead. Play stiff and make sure. Just wait for Sander to come to him. 3-1 is going to cover. Very nice shot for Sander. And 2-6 gets to try to run. Sure. Arnaud is happy with that. 2-6. Doesn't hit like Sander was hoping. Reasonably close race. Does he want to come out in front of that stack? I don't think so, but what better 6 do we have? Everything else is destructive. So I think his instincts are right to play 23-17 and maybe slot the 4 along with it to avoid... If we continue to the 15, then we're in double shot range, so I'm not sure why we would want to do that. Look at this, though. Yeah, it's so... We dislike coming out into that contact in front of that stack of 6 checkers against better boards so much that we should just break our board, actually. Not by a lot, but we'll see if we can find this. Doesn't feel like a very common backgammon kind of move here. I think a difficult one to find. Of course, when he gets away with it, then he'll only be down, you know, decent. He'll have a good bar point holding game with a lot of flexibility and mobility and good structure to contain if he gets a shot eventually. Oh, this is a really good play. Nice 5. 5-1. Yeah, and Arnaud's going to feel the pain of not having the 8 point that he could have made here. It's very difficult to bring these home with no presence in front of that anchor, no landing place for the midpoint. 5-2, not going to hit, so I think making a point in slotting seems pretty strong. Interesting. Sander first decides he definitely wants to slot and looks for a better 5. Five, 3, that's going to fix a lot of problems. Very nice for Arnaud. Double 3s. The race is getting pretty even, so Sander under some pressure to get that checker on the 23 linked up with his bar point and then moving around the board. He's not going to have time to sit back there for the extra contact and doesn't even prefer to against his 4-point board now either. So 5, I think, is coming out. 6 in, sure. 5-2. I think that's just playing to the 6. No need to break any points, anything like this. We don't mind keeping a spare on the 8 if we could, but no better deuce. Yeah, starting 2 points with the 5-1 seems strong. Really wants something above a 6 to get that spare moving. No such luck still. I think we're going to make the 3-point twice. Of course, Arnaud, the white checkers, is just hoping to play things safely off the midpoint. But now that he's down in the race too, he needs to keep that. He's not going to be so quick to give up the midpoint either. Not looking for opportunities to leave with a 5 or anything like that yet either. Okay, plays in. I'm not sure if saving a 6 had any sense there. It seems fine. But he'll be happy in this kind of position. If Arnaud's ahead in the race and just trying to get home safely, then he wants to clear the mid first. Since he's keeping contact, I think he'll be happy to clear the 8 first if it comes to that. This will just make the ace point, though. I think that's fine. Yeah, so again, this is a pretty natural 2-down play if we're ahead like 20 pips in the race or something like this. Potentially. But being even, he wants to keep the contacts. 1-6, a destructive roll for Sander. 5-2, I think we can just give up the 8 now like we discussed. And hope that Sander rolls his next 6 first. 5-3, this is going to have to break the board even worse. Now even when Arnaud is unlucky to leave a shot, it's not going to do much. 3-2, okay. Might have even been rolls where volunteering would have been fine there, but a 3-2 can just play to the ace. Seems like the simplest way to deal with this. 6-5 is forced, and half the time Arnaud's going to be in great shape. When he misses, not so much. 5-3 is not good. I think, yeah, I don't think we can afford to give up the board. Being hit with the 6 is not the end of the world, especially indirect since we might get a return. I like his play there. Sander's going to think about this a little bit. Leading in the match when an 8 cube could come back on a hit or something like this, I don't think we can afford to send it. I think it's starting to matter how close to match end we are. I'm not sure we'd send on the swing for money either. Oh, but he did give that advice recently, that you have to not double and then roll the market loser, right? Because that's how the dice gods work or something. Follows his own advice. Yeah, lifting seems like the right idea here. Let's check out that cube though too. 6-6. Nice shot.
Good morning.
Wow. That's a big turnaround. Yeah, huge no double. Some fan. Not a whole lot of gammons here though, so Sander's gonna survive. Not too much disappointment, I think, and does still have some contact value while he sits on the roof as well. 4-3, awkward. I think that's going to clear the 4.
Next time the 4-3 won't work.
I held it to the max.
Unless I roll a 4. Too cute.
Very careful.
Staying safe. All right, looking like it's going to be 2 points for Arnaud. Step in the right direction.
See, I almost gave it up. 3 doubles in my last 4 rolls. Without you getting a single one.
Doing the bear off transcription magic now here too. No decisions, fortunately. Just trying to figure out if he has hope. Explaining to him how he's going to do it. Oh, that's going to be it, he says. Okay. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up in the bear off there. Oh well, if I did, this isn't for BMAB or anything like this. Just for your benefit. So that you can see some feedback about the decisions and such. All right, 13 away anyway.
Must feel pretty good, huh?
Been waiting for Christmas for a long time.
You're feeling pretty good?
Yeah, trailing in the match, I mean, in general, at even scores, it's right to make the 2-point in match play. So here I think it would be even more so. The split is just the standard money play. Oh, interesting. It looks like it's probably closer than I realized. Yeah, a little bit. I thought trailing 5 points XG might
Can
have
I
a
go
stronger
with you?
preference.
We need to talk later.
6 is going to make the bar point, yes. Five, 6, what can this do? It links up with a 9. Beautiful shot. Small advantage for Arnaud with 1 back to 3 back. Let's see if Sander can get his 20 point. He does, and gets the slot as
All
well.
my hopes.
Out the window.
Agree with the players there. What can we do here? You must have to hit, but the ace is no good, so 8 to 7,
Nice
I guess.
slot.
Sure, sure. 9 to 8 is an interesting alternative. Okay. 5-3. Wow, manages to miss somehow. Is gonna get to hit instead on the offensive
Are
side.
you
Not so
hoping for
bad.
6 up
I was.
in that
I was looking
situation?
for 5-6. I can dream.
Enters with 1, and what else can we do here? I think we want to get out of double shot range maybe by playing 7 to 3. Why not 6 to 2 with the other two? I don't see much else. It seems like such a waste of double 4s, but yeah, 8 to 4 for the better point an option as well, but I would find the unstacking play. Alright. 3-1. This wants to cover, but it could just make the 4 point on head 2. That's probably a little bit better. And we get options at another shot. We don't have another spare to cover. The hit, if the hit's mandatory, then we want to make the 4. So we could look around for like a 20 to 17 with it or something. Oh, interesting. He chooses the pure point. That surprises me. Enter on the 2 and cover with the 3. Okay, not a bad shot for Arnaud. Probably prefers to hit, of course, but 4-2. How's this going to work? It can cover and lift one of the blots, or it can hit loose. That doesn't seem like the right idea, hitting loose. So after we cover, yeah, sure. I guess there's some duplication of 5s that could hit on the ace. Not sure he's doing that. Oh, what was better here? 13 to 7 to just cover the bar point. Oh, I didn't even really look for that long enough. That does seem a lot stronger. When you start by thinking, well, I need to cover the 4, it's a hard play to find. But of course, it's kind of less blots and everything, or I don't know. At least your opponent's still behind structure when they hit. They don't like hit and escape with tempo kind of thing. Keep 6s blocked with the other play too. When we look at this, it's the best option. Yeah, easy one to overlook, I think. All right, Arnaud considers the cube and is pretty close, but takes a roll. 6-5 is gonna hit. And then I guess play down with the 6. What else is there? If we hit, that's what we're doing. And I think we have to hit, so yeah, sure. And 3-6 is gonna fan. And now Arnaud has to figure out if he's lost his market. That was a pretty good sequence. Could he possibly be too good?
Pass.
Yeah, easy double,
See,
easy.
that's the trick.
Yeah.
When you don't double, you roll something good. Then you get to claim the next roll.
Felt a little light for double. I don't know. What do I know?
Sander giving away a lot of his secrets, trade secrets here. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Was there like a big pause in the... Oh man, what did we miss? I'm gonna have to like transcribe from a position or something like this. Okay, seems like we didn't capture the whole match somehow. We're at 9 to 5 there. And 5 away, 8 away is 9 to 5, yeah. So we're just later in this game. Okay, must have been some sort of error in the video file. So we should edit the position and continue from there real quick. Let's do it. Let's do that. We're going to have a cube on this side. We're going to have the white checkers like this. Well, Arnaud ends up in holding a 2 cube. And with a checker on the bar, this is looking pretty strong in this game. Okay, okay. I like it. And on roll. So opponent just fanned, so we should be at a cube action. That's what we should be doing here. Let me, how do I change it to cube action from here? Okay, E. Let's see. Okay, we'll figure it out from here. Rolls a 5-2 in reality. Okay, let's go get over the transcription so I'm on top of this. 5-2. All right, we're in business. Back to it. Oh, he wasn't in yet either. Okay. Transcribe. Edit position. We're going to get this guy on the bar. And then we're going to have a 5-2. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened with the video feed there, but we got something to work with here. So the 2-5 must just get moving, right? Oh, it can enter high or come out to the bar? What do you... Oh, it did start. Okay. Let me fix this again. So do you guys see what happened there? He was just deciding whether he should come out to the bar with the 5 or not, I guess. Well, that's what I thought he was playing it from the bar. My bad. So 5-2 now is going to play out like this and in like this. And Sanders on roll. Now we're really in business. All right. All right. Get a fan and a 2-1. And a 5-2. All right. All right, so he's looking to even out the match, it looks like, here. In great shape to do so. With, I think, it could be close enough that he's got a rip there, but he's going to play this way. Let's see. Yeah, he should be playing for a gammon here. When I get a second, I'll talk through. We got the fast bear-off thing going here. But there's a lot of pips outside, which means there's going to be a lot of gammons with a single checker closed out, but not so many that it's a lock yet with the number that we're at. Which typically means that we have to bear off a little more aggressively to try to get that gammon number going up. If we looked at the numbers on his decision with that 2-1 or whatever it was, I think we would see that. Yeah, so here for sure I favor peeling versus something safe, for example. 6-3 is going to try to spend pips efficiently into the board to get off the gammon. Arnoud in great shape to even this out, though, I think. 5 out, 1 down. Four around from the back, sure. I think that makes sense. Does he need sets yet? I think so. 6-2 resigns a gammon.
Losing a gammon on your own cube. I'm going to take a break.
Oh, all that to get to another break. All right. Well, that was an interesting, like 10 move or so game from our perspective. That's funny. But okay, we're going to get back in the next game to 8-away, 8-away. Let's find in the video where that is. Fast forward a little bit on my side here, and then I'll catch the video playback up there. While we're at it, come find me on Facebook and YouTube and stuff. And I hope you like my book. Let me know what you think about it if you get it, you know? I'm really excited to get feedback and see how people are doing with that, you know? Okay, so we're at like 145 on the video, I think, here. Oh, I went a little too far. All right, we got a 6-4 to open, it looks like. Let's get that caught up on my side, too. All right. Cool. I'm synced. 3-2. When our opponent splits with a 6, these are always some sort of duplication principle. I think we... 6-1 seems like an option. Not the best, I don't think, but I think I would just split, like make the regular major split. It's okay, yeah. 2-6. There's good duplication of like 4s in there and things like that, so.
Already not a nice game for both of us.
2 in, and he's going to create another blot. With the blot on the ace, I guess that seems somewhat reasonable. He could consider just playing 9-3 as well. I think purity makes a lot of sense here. When we start the ace, we sure do like to cover it, but yeah, hitting in the outfield seems a little stronger here. I like this decision. Don't see a good 3 after we cover the ace anyway. 1-6. Gonna help Arnaud with that purity. Make an offensive point. Not clear to me there between the offense and the defensive anchor. Yeah, okay, they're kind of close. Seems quite nice to not strip the midpoint and get the back checkers working. Return fire, there's going to be a lot of returns here for Sander from the bar.
What do you mean about that?
Still worth it. Okay, enter is going to hit on the 5, and then does he want to hit a second checker or make a point? Goes for the making a point. That seems right. And then some 3 from the back seems pretty strong with that as well. That's a tricky one, though. I'm not sure. And look at that. We should just play all 3 and clean up one more blot. Okay. Okay. Seems reasonable. Hitting 2 is not too far off either. But a lot of close options means Sander's going to have to spend some time figuring this one out for sure. All right. Finds second best, I think. Very reasonable play, of course. And double 6s is going to fan. 8 away, not too strange of a score here. I'm going to play this mostly like money, but it could be that the gammon value is a little bit higher for places we're landing and recubes and things like that. And this is a gammonish looking position. He's leading the race. He has the better board. He has threats. I think the cube feels certain. And maybe the take we have to think about. But it's so early with 3 checkers back. I mean, Sander does have 10 in the zone. And there's blots all over the place, so maybe I still lean towards pass for Arnaud. I don't know, but it's hard to pass this early in the game. And, oh wow, Sander's actually got the right idea, and it is slightly too good. I would not have considered it being that far where we can take a roll, and just going to get an instant pass for those 42% gammons.
Maybe it's too good, you know? So
I think
but,
I would play too good, I think, but maybe I'm greedy now.
I just wanted to go ahead again.
Both of these players now. Very sharp stuff. I think you have to send it just in case you're playing a player like me that would actually think about taking that for the earliest in the game. Just in case. If we get 1 take out of 100 in those, you're doing pretty well. Maybe you need more than that. 6-3 looks like it's going to make the 5 point. I don't see a good 6 if we make the anchor. It's not as good of a point anyway. It's the wrong checker from the 8, so he's right to kind of pause and think about it. He'd prefer making that with a 6-1 or something. Oh, interesting. He loves the 6 down and wants to think about should he hit or should he split. It's not clear to me. I guess he won't be ahead in the race much, but I kind of like getting past that stack on the 6 now and maybe splitting with this like 24 to 18, and maybe I just continue to the 15 since 13 to 10 doesn't look like much here. But yeah, reverse split is actually slightly better. Okay. And the hit not bad either, but of course not the ideal game plan when we're outboarded. Part2, gonna be punished for staying in front of that stack. And 3-2, okay, anchors up. Got plenty of life in this game again. But Arnoud with a clear lead. 4-1 can make the best anchor, can make the 8 point. Does our opponent really want to leave their anchor though? I don't think so. I like this decision. We do really want our 8 point again, like we talked about last time, for coming home against an anchor. So it is tempting and pretty close. Reasonable option for sure. 6-6, links up, perfect. Okay. Next game. There's still some contact here. I don't know. I don't think Sandra will want to take this. It's just a little too smooth of a 3-point game, I think, with a 16 pip lead. We'll see. We'll see what he does with it. Yeah, close pass. Sander does happen to have no board yet, too. I don't think that's going to matter. I think he'll be able to construct it fast enough with the way he's slotted. But it's relevant. He isn't guaranteed to have the structure he wants if Arnoud does leave a shot, which is reducing his contact value some. But I think it's mostly, yeah, I think players tend to snap these up. Just the contact, it's never too big of a, often not too big of a pass in these kind of situations. I think I remember in 6 book
win the race by accident.
Yeah, that's the thing that can happen, Sander, for sure. And he's got his board now. But yeah, it's harder to win the race by accident with the 22-point anchor is another issue with this. Generating some passes a little bit earlier. Okay, what's gonna go? Our opponent has a 5-point board now, so we're not volunteering anything for sure. So yeah, just clear from the rear seems nice, maximum safety. Still plenty of a lead in the race. Just need to not leave a shot. 4-1. Same story for Sander pretty much. Doesn't want to leave a shot here either. 3-3. That's going to clear nicely. I think we're going to just stack up the 7, but I guess it puts 2 checkers on a point that we want to clear, so it's not super clear. Maybe we could, yeah, 7-1, something like this looks reasonable as well. But looking good for sure. 6 in, 4 to the 2. Got to be careful about those 4s. Eventually that's going to be the shot leaving number when we're clearing against the 22 from the bar point. 3-2. Plays 2 in and doesn't consider saving 6 or anything. Interesting. Okay. Might have been worth something to stay outside for one. Let's look at that. 5-5. Okay. A little late for that. Now that our opponent's rolled a 6-6. I think it's worth staying. I don't think he's going to lose a gammon now that he's saved all these pips outside. I'm not sure why to the 2. Maybe we would just play to the ace and save a 6 as well. One is probably just going to be 2 off. Sure, he can smooth out some too. That's an option. He could play 6-4 and okay, find some combination play. The thing about spreading out 6-5 to me though is that he's not going to want to point on head after that after ripping the 2. So I don't know. Looks a little strange to me. Like the ideas don't play nice together, but I'm not sure. 6-5 is going to force Sander to go. Likely to just lose 2 points here.
Sexy guns.
Not the thing anymore.
Sanders
Gonna
gotta
happen.
be the most fun to listen to play, you know. Always having fun over the board too, but still playing super sharp like this. Best ace, maybe 4-3. Oh, if he needs to roll sets, he could be right about this 5-4, sure, or 6-5. Both seem reasonable. I think it needs to start now, and it doesn't. 2 points for Arnoud.
First time.
Playing sharper as the match goes on for sure. Arnoud is here. And trailing 7 away, 6 away now. He's going to go for the slot. I'm not sure if there's that big of a difference in the score, but they're always close, so it can't be bad anyway. Mostly a preference play. I'm always curious about those, though. Yeah. 5-1. What is this going to do? It's going to cover for sure. And then we don't really mind luring our opponent off the anchor, I don't think. But it's so pure to play 9-4 anyway. I'm not sure 13-8 really even feels better. So I think I'm just playing 9-4 with this. If we had some like better distribution play, we would choose to play down or leave shots in front. 6-5 I think is just going to play 2 off the mid. Now that we have the bar point, we don't really mind leaving a shot on the mid point so much. We're going to get many returns from the bar point anyway. And everything else is very destructive in volunteering shots anyway. We could just play all the way from the 18, but that seems like a bit much not to have an anchor in the case that we're hit. Okay, he's going to slot instead. Finds a close alternative. 5-1. Looks like it can make the 3-point. Why not? Could also think about slotting, but or splitting, but I don't think we're really in such a hurry to right now. Not that roll either. We'd rather have a good board prepared. We can cover with the 4, but then what is the 6 going to do? We're in the same dilemma as last time. So I think my 6 is still down. And then, yeah, why not have a board point if we're going to volunteer? I agree with that. And I'd rather have him hit from the midpoint than get moving with the back checkers, so it seems like a reasonable play to me. 4-1 is going to hit and split, it looks like. And a lot of returns from the bars. We could get in a blot hitting contest here, but Sanders favored in that with the 3-point board, so he's happy to get into it. See how Arnoud performs. He's got an anchor, so should have life even when he fails here. Quite a bit of it too. Still a good amount of work for Sander to do to regain the racing lead, escape those back checkers. Yeah, covering, safetying up the blot on the 12 might be nice if there's a 2 along with it. There's not. So what's our best then? Making the 11 he finds here? Okay. It's not really a point we want. It feels like there should be something better to do with the checkers, but maybe he's right there. 12 to 10 with the 24 to 23 is something that made sense to me. 6s. That's going to bring 1 all the way around, and do we want to make the deuce point or just bring 2 into the 11? Interesting. I guess the 4-point board is worth something, but when your opponent enters on the 4 or gets to the bar point, you're really sad about it. Maybe it's also going to be hard to make the 4 after that. Yeah, I'm not sure. 20 to 14, 11 to 5. Oh, we should actually play for a little more distribution and get instead of coming around all the way to the 8. After he realized he was going to make the deuce, he should have not linked up with the deuce like that. That makes a lot of sense and found a better play that way. Okay. In on the A's, find your best deuce. None of them are good. What can we do this? I mean, I guess just 6 to 4 is the only thing that doesn't break a point. We leave no directs though, and only indirects if we break the 8 and stack up, but it's just a little too much, I think. Yeah, my instinct is just slot 6 to 4. And here comes the cube. And racing lead. Arnoud does have an anchor, but there's threats of gammons and another checker back. I think at regular scores, this feels like something you probably just have to let go, even though he does have counterplay when he's not hit against this single checker back. But when does that happen? 3s, 5s, 7s, 10s are all hitting loose on the ace at least, if not better. Oof, this looks like too much against a 4-point board for me. But look at that, it's a massive take with the counterplay against the extra checker back. He could end up in a priming structure very much, and he wins all the way up to 37% almost with that. So gammon sky high. Oh, I love how Arnaud moves to the side. I wonder if he's getting reads on Sander when he does that. I would definitely react to that. I guess he just wants it out of the way to see the whole position. This is a difficult take to find. I don't think... Whew. The numbers add up to a pretty clear one, even as the leader. Of course, we're not adjusting at the score too much. Doesn't make either of them all that much. He's not going to have as easy of a time getting a recube in, but there's still value to the recube, still value to his gammons, all these things like that. So 708, 608 doesn't change too much. 108 would not be a massive error to make in dropping this either. Wouldn't be surprised to see it. But it's hard. It's very difficult to weigh the counterplay you have against that single checker back versus all the gammons that are going to pile up here. I think maybe a lot of players take this faster, just thinking that the gammons aren't that big of a threat when you have an anchor. But of course, the bar point anchor, you can still be closed out pretty easily, and Sander's done a lot of work to be quite close to that as well. Maybe if the distribution was a little stronger for closing out too, would be more of a pass. Yeah, tough for me to follow them letting that go. And we're at 6 away, 6 away. Tie score, of course, we should still split, but maybe he has a preference for playing down. They're close, of course. You can look at it, but decides to go with the down version. Okay. Interesting, and his hit. I noticed that about Sander, that he seems to have some, like, feel things like that in this game, where he just, like, I don't know. So you think he's going to be blitzed off with double fives. Maybe he'll make a different play. Think about it that way. 2-1. I think we're creating a 2-6 that hits and covers in addition to some other numbers when we stay back on the 14. So I kind of like just coming around the bend. We could hit loose, but we're so far ahead in the race that I don't really see a reason to do it. Just like give up a lot here. Not too far off. 3-2, do we want to hit or cover? Hit for sure, because we can hit twice. Yeah, of course, of course. In with 2, and now Sander ahead in this game. 4-4, I think we must have to cover 13-5, even though we give up the midpoint. What else could we do? We could just make the 4 and the deuce. That doesn't look too bad. But after I make the 5, what do I want to do? Probably make the 2 on head. I just don't see myself playing from the back checkers. Too much to do offensively. But ahead in the race, we're going to be so out of time. There's merit to it too. Very difficult play. Wow. Is there any reason I can't? We'd have to spend so many 4s just to come around from the 22. Making the 20 must have value. Oh, we could make the 20 in the 5. That would be an interesting way to do it. I feel better about giving up my midpoint when I have an advanced anchor. So strategically and structurally, that seems nice. But so does putting our opponent in the roof against a 3-point board. I'm not sure making the 2 is worth enough, though, and stripping our 6 like that. I don't know. I'm starting to favor the 20 and the 5. Let's see what the bot likes here. The 20 and the... Okay. The 5 and the 4 we should make. Just go for the pure points here. Very interesting. There are a ton of options in this. Very difficult position. Yeah, the play Sander's looking at now seems like a difficult one to pass up. But it looks like we just win quite a few more gammons when we go for 2 board points instead of 1 in the anchor with this big lead in the race. Our opponent hasn't developed at all. We don't really need an anchor against 7 in the zone. That's kind of another feature of this position that maybe leads us toward not advancing our front checkers quite yet. Yeah, this play came to mind too. It keeps a lot of the points that we want, but it leaves a direct shot, more than a direct shot, when we don't need to. So it doesn't feel like that can really come out on top. Okay, let's find in all the variants. Very tricky play. It's hard to find the one that volunteers a direct shot and doesn't put a checker on the roof. But it's the rack. And this is a long game where we've both gone backwards some, so having the best and most pure structure is just worth a lot more than usual. So his opportunity to make the next 2 best board points, and his opponent can never make either of these points as an anchor. Look at this, he's looking at the best play too. Has a ton of value in this position. Very visual player, apparently, too. I don't know if I recognize this about Sander watching his streamed matches while I was in Monte Carlo. But I can see he really likes to actually see how each play plays out, too. I feel like mostly I can visualize plays and how they're going to sit, but sometimes you see something different when you actually put it on the board there. Of course, it can be frustrating to opponents to have to, like, keep up with, did he play illegal and rewind illegal, and people make mistakes all the time, but certainly can be helpful to your game to get to look over options like that. You spend a lot of time in a good place to do it too. This is clearly a very good roll. Probably quite a bit of difference in all the plans here, and we can see a decent amount of equity be given up, you know. Sets are the hardest. I keep thinking he's going to make the best one, and then he looks at it and gets rid of it. Okay. Finds one of the many within a blunder kind of variance, at least. 2-1. Not allowed to have a third checker on the 24, so I think I'm just playing to the 22. And cube coming, most likely. Even score. Yeah, that's, I mean, huge advantage here. And it's still barely, I guess the threats aren't that much. He might not cover the 5, still has 3 checkers to bring around. This was the issue with his play, by the way, too. Making the deuce and the 4, our structure is pretty impure, and the ace point is playing pretty well against it. So Arnoud has a lot of chances and can afford to leave checkers around a little bit. Maybe in building structure, if he gets another cent back, he still has a lot of life. And Sander isn't all that close to closing this out, so... But he's going to let it go here, too. Okay. Does look pretty threatening, not too surprising to me. Tough find there. And Sander at 5-way, 6-way going to open with a 6-1 and make the bar point. Okay. 2-6 runs past. I think having made the bar point, we're priming. I'd like to split and try to get my back checkers moving strategically along with this. Slotting when we're ahead in the race is not as desirable either. We don't have the... We still have covers. Okay. 5-2 is going to make the 11 point. Very nice containment shot. Should help him build in front of Sander later. 3s, yeah, I think just advancing in the board. We can't do anything like anchor up or escape fully with the back checkers, so let's insta-board. 3-3 should be something of an insta-board for Arnoud as well. Not enough to do with the back checker either. How do we do it, though? If we make the 5, then we have to leave a direct 6 against the 3-point board. That doesn't seem like the right idea. And so we don't see a lot of great options. I think just 10 and 3 is going to make the most sense. Oh, he could just make the 5 from the 11 as well. But 2 new points is very strong. And it must develop pretty nicely as well. I hope he looks at it. And so when we look at this, it feels like when our opponent advances to the 5 with a lot of rolls or the bar point, we're going to have a lot of ways to hit and continue the attack with a weaker board. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's actually gives a few too many ways to anchor and things like that. Let's see what the bot likes there. Yep, okay. Reasonably close, finds the best play. Feels like the follow-up's going to be a little bit difficult on this play, but I mean, it's what I tended toward as well. Just 2 new points instead of shifting 111 point to the 5 point. The distribution didn't look so great after that anyway. But I feel like, you know, we're going to be improving our structure almost always here, but we're also potentially going to be leaving shots against a very strong board is what it feels like. 2-1. That's a bit of a whiff. What's the best we can do? Maybe just 11 to 8? Maybe 8 to 6, 11 to 10 is an option, something like this too, but I think just breaking the 11 seems like what we have. I don't want to leave 2 blots in the outfield though, so making the 9 seems like an overplay, not to mention that it communicates poorly with the 3 anyway. And look at this, we should actually just like play super safe and button up 6 to 3. I can never find plays like that. It just, I need that checker to build the 5 and the 4. I can't imagine putting it back there. It doesn't even help me build the 2 and the ace, really. But this is how bad it is to be hit against a 4-point board. These fly shots are very costly. So we're getting into that stage of the game where you just can't afford to leave it all. The 5-4, the 3-6, the 6-4. It's not that many. Not that many. Wow. Not sure why M++ 11 to 8 comes out as such a blunder. I wouldn't have thought that. What happens when we play 11 to 10, 11 to 9? Is that 5-2, 3-4, 6-2, 3-5? It's more shots. Must build better somehow. I guess the distribution looks a little weird with the 4th and the 8. But yeah, Sander wants to think about the cube there now, leading the match, and just about there, but not quite. 3-2 is going to anchor. Okay. That could be a market loser with the racing lead. 6-3 must make the 5-point. I think it has to make the 5-point. Does he want to run instead, being down in the race? I don't really see that. I think just structure in front of this point seems like the best we can do right now. Oh, you guys aren't seeing. I forgot to take the ad down. My bad. You missed some XG analysis. Someday I'll get good at this. I'm winging it. We'll figure these out. Might keep doing this with Latte, and as I get better at the streaming software, you know, it'll be like cleaner and cleaner as we go. Or maybe I just need someone to do that kind of stuff for me. So when you're like thinking about 8 things at once, you tend to make some mistakes. Oh well. 5-1. It's like a bonus section where you just have to trust my insights about the plays. Instead of getting to see the XG answer. Well, this plays itself, I think, right? Maybe not. Maybe we don't want to, if we're down enough in the race, we want to keep the 10 to block 6s. So maybe switching 10 to 7 isn't so obvious. But keeping all these checkers in front seems pretty strong. Can't play completely safe. Very even race. Can't afford to give up the anchor here, I don't think. What about giving up the midpoint is more shots? Making a weaker board seems very strange. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's too much long term in the game to go for me to find that play. But not too far off. 2 down, allowing him to escape with tempo, at least reduces shot some. Sure. That seems like a very reasonable play. I might have found something like 13 to 3 as well, but it's a little impure, so maybe not And Arnaud has a decision he thinks here now too, and super close to a cube on the volatility of a hit. This should be a pretty nice shot, blocking that anchor a little further. But without much of a racing lead, might be, ooh, not a good roll for Sander. He's going to be forced to volunteer something. How does he want to do it? Does he want to just give up nines by playing 13 to 7, 5 to 2, something like this? Does he want to go for a hit? I think he can still play a race if he can like turtle up here, and being behind all this structure when hit seems pretty tough. I'm not sure what he gains by hitting loose and leaving the double shot. Like he still has to escape a 5 prime. Like this just seems like a lot of gammons when it goes wrong. But when our opponent fans, maybe we can claim? I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, he does win a lot more when he makes that play. It's just that when he gets hit back, he's going to lose a gammon a ton of the time. And it's so much so that he actually needs to pass the cube. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, just this safe, quiet play, though. Like, why not? It just feels like the holding game theme. Like, if I can just get to a race, I can be okay here. So this doesn't look that scary to me. I'm not, like, thinking about passing after this play or anything like that. Just waiting for Arnaud to roll through me and hope that I preserve a fairly even race and can escape safely. And that'll happen a decent amount of the time. And look at this. Arnaud does have enough to send on the market loser, the 9. I would have thought this was early and probably rolled as well. A little bit of score effect here going on. Not too much, though. And so, like, coming around here doesn't really... I don't think this is going to be clear market loss or anything like that. I think now that we don't have a shot, it's not really much of anything. Yeah, just shy. Still a little bit of a racing lead, so 5-5 could be market loser for sure, though. I expect we're going to play to the ace with that one and then bring one of the points in. 7-2 or 8-3 both seem fine. This threatens contact a little more, so why not? 3-3. Even enough race to play out this way. Yeah, everything else is going to destroy the board so much that why not? So I think we cover and come in, right? I don't see a reason to leave it. You would like a little bit of contact just in case your opponent rolls some sort of 6 that would play for distribution better otherwise. It's close to just leave, though. I don't know how players are calculating this when they think really hard about it, though. I guess checking on the race, and maybe they have some number where if it's close enough, the racing equity is worth more. Arnaud down to 4.5 minutes on the clock, too. Should be enough to get through this match, but it's not a ton of time either. Might be feeling the time pressure a little bit. There we go. Finds the contact play. And now Arnaud wants to think about a cube again. Only 5 pips in the race. Not sure 8-9 is point of last take. Evaluate the wastage a little bit. We must be close. Must not be a bad cube with a little bit oh wow, it's a sizable cube. Okay. Maybe I'm underestimating the wastage, and okay, the take point could be getting pretty weird at the score too. This is one of those where I talk about it in my book a little bit. I mean, the calculations get strange and not like completely intuitive all the time at the end. It's not just like leading or trailing. They're just different at all the scores, and I don't know. You gotta memorize a lot of things to get these with precision, and it's so rare to land in this window, but Arnaud has found himself, from a PR perspective, unluckily exactly in that window, right? Where he can make that big of a mistake when it feels like it shouldn't be much of anything for money, mistake-wise at least. Probably still a double for money. But we'll see if he finds it now. He's 7 pips ahead now. Must feel like he's close to a racing pass and can see market loss for sure, I'm sure, too. So yes, he finds a double now, and seeing the numbers last time, I think this must be a pass, but I would probably not be thinking pass at all over the board here. The wastage is worse than it looks or something? Or the contact isn't actually that good when he does get to hit a shot. But on a pure race, this should be like 8 pips point of last take, and it's only 7, so these numbers surprise me. This is a difficult position to evaluate, I think. And Sander gonna take it. Yeah, it's that would have been my instinct too. Not too surprising mistakes for me. To me. Okay. Wonder why that is. That's a position I could spend some time with, I guess. Learn something from. 6 gonna force him off. Perhaps this is part of it. Yeah, I like 12 to 11 for that direct cover just in case, but we could reduce shots 18 to 17 as well. I don't know. But I think we want contact right now. We're trying to win that way, so staying back seems better. Yeah. Oh, 6 to 5 is another way to bring another cover in. That's interesting. 3-1. Gonna get out of harm's way. Okay. Yeah, he's got enough race to not want to be hit against the 5-point board. Straight to the 5 for distribution. I think that seems good. 3-2. Distribution improvement for Sander as well. Still needs to catch up in the race. Arnoud draws first blood. All right, looking quite likely to be 4-way, 5-way. Yeah, 2-1 seems fine to me. Still possible for Sander here. Is it now? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, he could get an extra roll out of a 2-1. 3-2, that'll do it. All right. And we're on to 4-way, 5-way with Arnaud in the lead in the match. I think when Sander was talking in his interviews, he might have mentioned that this was like one of the toughest matches. Just like closest to, I don't know, like he could have lost it or something like that. You know, like that sort of tough. Got in some bad positions and just barely squeaked it out kind of thing. So I'm excited to see how he gets out of this in the end too. Arnaud's been playing him tough too. Definitely wants to hit. Maybe, that's a difficult decision between splitting and down for me. I like bringing the ammunition now that our opponent's on the roof. Happy to have split here. 6-4. I think we're gonna. Oh yeah, we can hit. First instinct was anchor and cover, but hit. And do we really need to lift? I'm not sure about that. Yeah. 4-1 is gonna enter and come down. Sure. Okay. Arnaud just looking to clean things up, and he gets a roll that's gonna help him with it, I think. Maybe not. I guess 14 to 8 looks like it's part of it. And then do we just switch 7 to ace to buy some time? It feels very strange to do. We really need an outfield point against that 20-point anchor. The ace isn't helping us that much. But what else do we have? We could just pile him on the 7 and bring it down and leave it in front of the anchor. I like that better, actually. Positionally, I think 14 to 8 and a bunch down to the 7 looks very nice. Let's see. See what XG thinks there. No, that is the best play, though. Okay, okay. Yeah, I would have been tempted by one of these 4th or 5th best plays. 3-2. We're entering with a 2. Do we want to stack up the 3 on the anchor? Or do we want to go for it? Against this structure, this is an attacking structure. I'm a little bit afraid to hit here. I think I want to just kind of camp this position out. We're kind of playing into that attacking game plan. Our opponent could even have like cubes from the roof sometimes here with all the shots that we'll be leaving and blots around. Seems too big. Our opponent doesn't seem to have much of anything when we just play into the 20. Yeah. Fairly close, but see the numbers kind of pan out the same way. 3-2 is going to remake the 8. Very nice roll for Arnoud. 5-6 is going to link up with a 9. Sure. Seems stronger than making a deep board point against this single checker back. Just wants to contain it. 6-3 is going to run past anyway. Nice shot. And if he gets away with this, we could be looking at a cube. 24 pips. I don't think is enough to really change that idea too much. What's the best he can do with this? Yeah, make the 3 and the 2. Sure. 13-7 seems like a nice part of it too, but I don't know. Maybe just making the 2 points better. And does Arnaud have a double here? I'm not sure. He clearly loses his market when he just safeties the checker, but maybe. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, really close. 2-1. Slotting for sure. Where's the best 2? Probably down for another cover. Oh, he slots another point instead. Okay, that can't be bad either. Very close between the 2. 5-2. What can we do with this? 2 blots on the board. Is there any opportunity to clear a point? That was going to be difficult to clear. I don't know if it's good enough to leave a direct 6. I don't think so. But everything else is pretty bad. I'm not going to play 6 to ace. There's too much work to do to clear things there. Can't do anything about the 10 without volunteering. Can't do anything about... If I clear the 8, then I have 2 points to get home without it. So, yeah, I like this 13 to 8. And then figure out your deuce. Are you sure you don't want to force him to break the anchor? If we're going to do this, maybe there's some ace duplication. I'm tempted to just play 2 down, though. But I think solving the midpoint feels like where I'd go. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Quite close. He plays 13 to 6, so right idea, kind of wrong tactical execution there. And he does miss a cube on that one. Now that the blot was safetied. Definitely had market loss there. 1-6 is going to hit for sure, he says, and then has to find his best 6. This is not the most comfortable hit, though. I think he has to go for his anchor and equal boards, basically, and things like that, but yeah, we don't always get the cover, which is why it was a nice time to volunteer. I think 3 just comes out to avoid creating another blot, even though you'd like to pressure the blot on the 5 point. Nice shot for Arnaud again. With all the gammons in play, he's going to really regret not having a cube involved somehow with the way this game is going. Okay, never mind. Got pretty simple. I still think we have some market loss here, just getting home to safety. Doesn't do it. Yeah, I think spending the most pips outside that we can makes a lot of sense. Oh, we could make the 2 point, though. Seems like kind of a nice thing to have there, but okay, getting closer to safety better. No double there either. Interesting, okay. Not sure what's changed so much there. Now that he's closer to home, he's going to think again, but he's so stripped in the outfield, I guess, that the contact's just going to be good even when he safeties up that blot. Must be the issue. 6-6. What does this do? That is probably going to do it. Yeah, and we did before the 6s move miss a sizable cube there too. Clear pass after he escapes with the 6s too. And on we go to 3 away at 5 away. This is, if he's playing down before, this is definitely a down score. So not surprised to see 5-4 that way. getting within range of the end of the match so we can start to really adjust our play, start to focus on gammons and early cubes for Sanders' side, and a lot more conservative for Arnaud. Not as aggressive if they were within 2 away or 4 away, something where gammon wins the match, but getting to Crawford's pretty good too, so still pretty major adjustments, pretty large adjustments at this score. Not the biggest we see, but we're adjusting for sure. Yeah, interesting play there. I was thinking about 13-8, of course, but it strips the mid. Why do we want to do that at this point? We're out of time out there, so we just have to play out to the bar. Nice find. 4-3. Against all these checkers down, I'm not really compelled to split here. So what can I do that's better? Just play to the 6? That feels like a waste of a move a bit, but it's better than being pointed on. 2 up is kind of an option too, but we haven't unstacked the mid at all. I don't want to leave the double shot in front. I don't know. Maybe that is best. 13-6 is probably what I ended up finding though. And look at this. We can just split still instead. Okay, they're all options. Yeah, I'm not really thinking about a little bit of both either, but it makes sense early in the game why that would be the idea. That our opponent can't really take advantage of both. It only has a 1-point board, so we're not risking too much. On the 1, makes the anchor, okay. At leading scores like this near the end of the match, having an anchor is the best thing that can happen, so Arnaud very, very pleased with that. Hard to get into a position where you're going to have to adjust your take side to gammons too much, so he gets to play fairly normal backgammon now from here. One just going to make the bar point simple. All right, 5-1 can't play safe, so what are we slotting? Why not the best point? A 5-point, sure. I don't see any tactical reason to choose one over the other. But for some reason we like the bar better. Maybe the distribution's a little better. Or very close. Sander thinking about if he has anything on a hit, decides better that. I think it just continues, why not? We give 6s from the bar, so maybe 6-4 could be better, but I don't like having to play behind the anchor to do it. But he does find the best play there too. Well done. Cube was super close there. 5-6, I think we just got, he's going to play behind instead of out. Okay, he's down a ton in the race. Is that a reason to do that? I think I'd still come out and challenge the mid. Interesting. They're super close there. And yeah, okay. And we have a cube decision for Sander here now. And being 40 pips ahead in the race, if he just escapes, he probably has a little bit too much in race lead. Good enough distribution, so next roll is probably going to decide it quite a bit of the time. I think it makes sense here. A lot of swing on that. Decides to take a roll instead. Uses his market loser theory of rolling and losing your market and then cashing. I think it's going to work. He's going to get a point out of this. Oh, he's going to get a take for contact. Okay, interesting. That is the tendency, but sometimes that 40 pips in like decent distribution is enough to just let it go. It's not like, I mean, Sander has an extra point to bring this home too, so contact might worth quite a bit enough to make that up. Plus Arnaud doesn't have that great of a board to punish even if he does get the shot. So a lot of things kind of going wrong for him in his position there, turning that into the pass side of the cube. Makes waiting on the cube seem pretty strong for a Sander though. We can just get a take later. Four, not going to make much of a dent. Nice distribution. Could have slotted the 3. Maybe that's a hair better. 4-4 going to solve a lot of problems for Sander. And there are some random racing gammons here that would take him to Crawford. Gonna be a little bit of scary for Arnoud. Not too likely of an outcome. Not scared enough to start playing checkers in, okay. Maybe he should have. Yeah, a little bit more efficient at once. Okay, 2 off the 6-point pre-clear, sounds good. 6-5, is he gonna run one? Why not? Only gives up to aces, and aces are good anyway. So 6 out, 5 in, now he's starting to get efficient with the pips. 6-4, doesn't get his shot, just running off the gammon now. And it should be an even match, a 3-point match. Funny how these long matches can come down to that so easily. Okay, not over yet. Gonna need 2 more of those though. Ooh, and the 5s aren't gonna help. 3 more of those now. Maybe quite soon too. Is that even enough? I don't think it is.
No.
Okay.
But it looked nice. Not enough, but it looked nice.
I agree. Not enough, but it did look nice. 3-way, 3-way. Let's play a 3-point match. Why do we even start at a 17-point match anyway? Oh, quick bathroom break. Okay. Put the ads back up. Remind me to take them down again after the fact. I'm trusting you guys to remind me somehow in an impossible way. This has been a really exciting match, though. Okay, where are we at on this? We're at, we got 240.56. Let me adjust the match on this side. Oh. All right, I'll pull those down. Go get my book. Come find me on YouTube and stuff. It'll be fun. Oh, oh, I went way past it. How did I get that far? Oh,
It's not gonna be enough.
No
It has to be enough.
there we are. There we are.
Are you ready?
You have a dinner side bet?
The winner has to play dinner.
Spoilers.
Right.
Looked like an interesting cube was coming. I've heard about this. This is a position that got talked about. Well, they're going to try again. And we've got a 4-2 to open. Okay. We start for Sander. Nice response. Fair for everybody. Ooh, perfect 4 prime. Six two. 6-4. Yeah, what else can he do? I guess he could bring 2 down. When he's being primed, maybe that actually makes some sense, but ahead in the race, you don't want another one behind the prime. Yeah, I'm probably just making the 2-point. A good shot. Look at this. And he's got a marginal take after this with such good structure. Wow, at 3-way, we do send a little bit earlier. I'm still not sure I'd so naturally find this this cube. It still looks like a long game and like there's work to do. There's some positional advantage, but he's down in the race. Arnoud can still split against just 8 in the zone, but he's going to get a double and a pass even out of it. That's really interesting. Okay. I would have a harder time finding the cube, and I think I would be playing this out for how early it is. But we can see that we're not too far off of a pass there, because we do adjust some at that 3-way score. The take point's a little higher. Those are some of the hardest to calculate for me. There aren't any like super simple adjustments. It's just like kind of a marginal. All right, 2-way, 3-way now. Sander with the match lead. 5-2, likely to just make the 3-point after we slot the ace, or slot the 5, I mean. That's what the 5-2 does quite a bit. Annoying roll that doesn't cover, but at least it does that. All right. right, the attack is still on for Arnaud. He's going to be sending very aggressive cubes at the score, so I think probably at least one down as well, focusing on offense. Oh, he can switch to the ace and really go for a blitz this way. That's an interesting way to play it. Maybe the second in the air is worth it. We already have 9 in the zone. We could get a 10th and maybe 11th, but we prevent all anchors. I kind of... I'm torn there. Okay. Switching to the ace. Wins a lot more gammons, but loses enough games to not be worth it. Okay, I like his idea to just bring another checker in the zone and attack. 4-4 fans. And I think I heard about this position because the double seems quite clear, and I think this seems like a nice money double too, doesn't it? So a nice adjustment, I think, at the score is to understand that that probably means you need to let it go by quite a bit here. But I think I remember hearing in some interviews that we might get to see this game played out. Yeah, by the numbers, smallish, maybe decent, like just I don't think it's a huge cube for money, but it's a cube. There's a lot of volatility on it. And this is a lot of the meat of what I cover in my book too, is that this 3-way, 2-way, 4-way, 2-way, 4-way, 3-way, we make huge adjustments that way. Just everything that can go wrong with the score in match play happens at this score. Gammons are worth a little less, but they're worth nothing for Sander when he sends this cube. Sander can never get a recube in, so there's like, and his match equity, of course, is not bad when he passes to just play a DMP game. So everything points to sending early and letting go early at this score. At these scores, at these match end scores. 4-away, 2-away being the one where that happens the most. 3-away, 2-away also happens to have some high take points like 3-away, 3-away does. Just weird effect with allowing your opponent get it to Crawford. Better to like go to 2-away or something like this. So that's kind of a minor effect, but the gammons and the lack of a recube are kind of the really major effects. So 3-away, 2-away, 4-away, 3-away act quite similar, where you can take a small money double and turn that into a pass pretty easily, and then 4-away, 2-away is going to pass even more than that. But okay, Sander's going to try it. I remember Arnaud telling me that he said that he just didn't want to have to play just one DMP game. He wanted to get to play 2 games, which is not clearly going to be the case here if we can't save the gammon. But yeah, that's funny. Interesting logic. I think... oh, we have to make the 5, right? There's not so much call for a tempo, I don't think. I think we can just afford to make the structure. We're really sad when our opponent rolls 6-1, 6-3, 3-1, I guess. Some anchoring rolls, but not so much that we want to destroy our board that much. I like this play. 2-2. Let's start by anchoring. 1 down, sure. We like having the 11 point better than the 9 point, so it's not like crystal clear, but I don't see any other option. The 11 point was helping us make the 20 point with 6s and things like that. Now we still have 4s, but we're a little deeper, so less numbers are going to get there. 5-1. What is this going to do? Are we just going to let go of the 9 point now? I don't see any reason to volunteer a shot instead. Yeah, I would put the spare on the 8 was my idea too. Not sure what we gain by leaving it back there. I guess maybe we could make the 5 point with a 4-3, something like this, sure. 4-3 is going to make a 5 prime. Okay. Sander's position coming together nicely. Definitely risk a lot less gammons when you win. I think the 5 point's going to be worth more than the bar point here, but I'm not completely certain. He's too much ahead in the race, so like trying to prime your opponent is the wrong idea. I think you just want to be ready to attack when you get the chance. And just giving up the mid seems better than a deep spare on the 3 as well, but that part less clear too. Seems to be the play he's looking at. And look at this. Because of that kind of awkwardness and giving up the midpoint, all these things, it actually is pretty okay to just make the bar point too. They run quite close. But he finds the best play. Nice job, Arnoud. 4-1 completes the 6 prime. Okay. And being in a priming battle is not exactly what Arnoud wants here with the racing lead. At least he has the higher anchor, which buys him a little timing, but I think he's still out-timed in this position. And yeah, so killing 6s seems like a decent idea. Maybe there's something else with distribution. I don't see it though. What should he do there? 10 to 7, 6 to 2. He should slot because he's in such trouble. That's really interesting. That's a hard play to find. 2-2, yeah, should play pretty natural, just making the deuce. Really wants Sander to enter and crack here. Fanning is a problem. He's going to need that 6' to go away before he works on his closeout. Decides not to volunteer the 1-6 for one roll, okay. 6s would be forced to play to the ace anyway and volunteer shots too, so seems fine. No strong preference between the ace for him there either. Really needs Sander to enter quickly here. Not obliging. Double 6s. The foreseeable future. 6-2, not bad. That's survivable. Ace-5, okay. A little bit of life in that. Now if he crashes a little bit, he can still get Sander to crack as well on some 4s and things like that. A 4-3 of his own would give him some life. 5-4, though, is going to crush a lot of dreams here. Looking good for Sander in this game to potentially win the match on this one right here. 6-4, oof. Forced to break the 5-point and hit 2, okay. Sander misses. I don't even know if he needs to hit more checkers to win this game. When he's just trying to win, he doesn't care about sending a bunch back for gammons. That's usually the value of having the 3rd and 4th back there. So he can just sit back and let him crash more and more, and eventually pull him off his anchor with some sort of trap play. Seems reasonable, given that he's down in the race by so much. I feel like you would want to leave one kind of further back to prepare for that trap play, but maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. It might be that that's not really in the plan at all. 3-1. Six, 3. What are we trying now? Just going for distribution still, okay. So I guess he probably wants to use those checkers to make a point behind maybe and be really ready to attack when it goes that way. So should we slot a point behind? Something like 6-2. Everything else looks pretty stacky. 7-6, 5-2 instead. Interesting. Yeah, it feels like it gets closer to clearing points at least. Okay, they're all quite close. All quite reasonable. Yeah, really not a huge difference in this one. There's actually, again, a full 1.2%, but it's only 0.26 equity. Not really sure why those run so close. Strange technical stuff to me. All right, cleans up a blot. So just Arnoud hoping to get lucky to run off and race. 4-4. Not bad, but not great for Sander either. I mean, he really just wants to keep his opponent from escaping. This play's a little awkward and deep. The 6s are plenty to turn this around for Arnoud. Single 6 might be a little scary, but still some hope in that too. 6-3. Clear from the rear, get great distribution to attack when he runs with a 5 or a 6. 6-5 is kind of a nice variant roll too. 5-3, leaving it back where it can be attacked is going to be some upside for Sander for sure. He'll be happy to hit and not let him convert this to a race. No such luck. Is he doing well in this race? Now he's ahead of Pip now somehow, and of course his opponent's wasting a ton, so he must be fine, yeah. 6-5, 2 off. In the driver's seat, 5-4. Maybe distribution to the 5's a hair better there, I don't know. He maximizes crossovers. 6-3. close match all the way through. Arnoud had strong chances to win a gammon on this game here to win the match. Couldn't quite pull it off. Sander got out into a good priming and holding game and seems to be winning the race from here to win the match now. On a sizable mistake in taking that cube. Got away with one there.
That was an exciting match, my friend. Can't wait to go. What?
So unfair.
I think that most people would pass this one I showed you.
Yes.
But I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
No, you-
I don't want. I cannot have it go to a double match point.
I love. They both know it in the end too there, right? Oh, that's hilarious. That's what an exciting match that was. That was really fun. That's that feels like the Danish take it away, right? You gotta play a little deeper and try to get out of one instead of letting it go to double match point. But pretty strong performance from both in a long match there. Sander able to eke it out in the end. I mean, you have to have some of those to be world champ. It's nice. I wish we had all the matches so everyone could kind of see what that kind of run is like and how many, like, I don't know, you just have to have all kinds of incredible things happen to survive a tournament like this to win, along with playing really well and giving yourself the best chances you can. Like, of course, you also need to get some, like, lucky in some spots. But yeah, of course, really entertaining people to watch play, really sharp stuff, really interesting plays and positions that they got into. Nice to see Arnaud and how he played too, given that he's coming back to the game, put up a pretty strong performance there, I thought, as well. So yeah, thanks so much for watching with me if you made it this far into the end of part 2. Yeah, check out my book on Amazon if you're interested in learning how to adjust the match play at those scores. I talked about some of those positions a little bit. Please do reach out to me for lessons if you're interested on Facebook, or just connect with me there too so I can share positions and things like that. And I've got more videos like this of my own play on my YouTube channel at Nick Blasier on there as well. So come check it out. Hope to make more of these videos with Mate in the near future too. Hope you enjoyed this. Let us know what you think of these too. If there's anything we should do different with it. Like show the feed for the entire time, or have the players on the right side, have the volume off the bat right away. I think I'm starting to figure it out, but I'm sure there's some stuff that I missed too. So I do really appreciate it when you guys let me know like how the videos go and what I can do better next time. I'm still learning OBS and all these things too. All I know how to do is talk about backgammon. I got to learn all this other stuff to like find platforms to do that. So your help is appreciated. Yeah, we'll be back with more soon, I hope. All right. Bye, everybody.